The chemosphere, designed by John Lautner in 1960, considered a masterpiece of California modernism. The chemosphere was designed for a young aircraft engineer, and the home is representative of a UFO. In 1977, the chemosphere was bought in bad condition and was begun restoring it. The chemosphere is built in Los Angeles, 30 feet over the city, at a 45-degree slope in the earthquake-prone region. This was a perfect location because the ground could create a level platform for the house that was used to support the open steel framework. Lautner perched the entire one-story octagon on a single 30-foot concrete column, leaving the natural surroundings untouched. The scale of the chemosphere is larger than the human body. This is because not only the scale is bigger inside, but since there are so many windows, it makes the scale feel larger. The openness of this really affects that. The space, because it was created for an aircraft engineer, the visibility of the outside world with being elevated for the ground really emphasizes this. The materials also play a part into the space and the feelings within the space. The materials in the chemosphere are wood, steel, and glass. Something else that really affects the interior space and the experience is the light and the color that within the chemosphere. The chemosphere is all glass on all of its walls, giving the light and color a different experience. Since there is so much open, natural light, it is one of the main components of the chemosphere, which gives it connection to being in the sky, such as an aircraft carrier engineer would be used to. The coloring of the space also changed by the natural light is brought in. The surrounding glass walls really change the way the space is seen. With so much natural light included in the chemosphere, it's going to change the way the lighting inside looks compared to using such as artificial lighting. Since this is so much natural light also, and there are so many windows, the LA landscape is a huge part of the chemosphere. Since it is elevated to the space, your experience within the space is different if you were in a traditional home. Since a traditional home does have walls and not as many windows, and you can't see the landscape as well, that really changes the experience that you would have within the chemosphere. This non-traditional home is going to be a very different experience. The finishes used inside the chemosphere are also very different and affect the interior environment. It also contributes to the furnishing. The fabrics, rugs, and finishes contribute to the feeling of the space and represent the modernism that is the chemosphere. This representation is also important because it represents something different than a modern home would. This is an important part of the design concept that the representation is used. The finishing and coloring is also important within this. The coloring of the furniture used inside are bright colors, which really represent the time period that the space was created. This also represents the organic look that the house represents with the connection of outside. There are many uses of straight and curved lines, and there is a very natural feel within the house because it has such an outside connection with the landscape. Something else that is also important about the chemosphere is this space is something unlike any other and is a very different home than is used.